Your cup, living life with FND, we won't give up. Spill your coffee, hey, that's okay. We'll laugh it off and seize the day. Sip happens, but we're alright. With Sarah's mug, we'll win the fight. Science stories, laughs and fun. Morning chats for everyone. So take a sip, don't spill the brew. Join the chat, it's made for you.
Hey guys, welcome. Good morning to y'all. How are ya? Oh my goodness, I didn't even look at the screen. I got bird look. Oh well. It's almost 9 a.m. Where to begin? I had everything planned as always and then derailed. Oh, we'll kind of wait until some of you hop in here and then we'll chit chat. Sorry, it's a little dark, but it's cloudy outside and I don't really want to turn on the other light. So we're going to just deal with me kind of like this. So, which is fine. Hang on, let me do quick. All right, I'm back. There, that's a little bit better. Not perfect, but you know me. So, how is everyone this morning? Good morning. Anybody awake? I've got quite a bit to talk about today and let you learn and grow. I'm excited. You want to see what I got? I got a little present, early Christmas present from a young lady who lives out in California. She is an artist. So let's see what I've got. So thank you. I already opened it. Sorry, I had to. It was in a box that doesn't really work on camera. But look what I got. Look at this. Isn't that cute? Clara Woods. I got a mug. A lot of love. And I guarantee this, she kissed this before she sent this. Guarantee. Oh, Clara, I'm so excited to finally have the Resilience Cup mug for my coffee. This is going to be my favorite mug of all time. It's like, I'm a slothy girl, but this is my, oh my goodness. If you have not checked out Clara Woods collections, she does a lot of kind of the abstract, yeah, I think I would consider her artwork a little bit abstract, free to, or I think she can do whatever. So I am so sick. Ah! Hearts, 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 hearts. There we go. Ah, love you, Clara Woods. I'm happy to have this mug. I'm so ecstatic. I wish you were here to give you a big old hug and a kiss and lots of loving. So now I get to think about you every, morning when I have my cup of coffee. So, oh my goodness. So, yep, I got that yesterday. Of course, I didn't check the mail for a couple days, so it could have been here earlier. So yeah, and the fun part is it has like 2 hearts on it, which symbolizes me. In a way as well. So we'll dive into that story later. Anyways, as you can see, I've got some more painting little drawings on here. I'm slowly getting there. Adding to the people that have popped on here and have subscribed, and I need to write everybody's name on the back, the ones that I can see as far as subscribers. So we're getting that somewhat filled up. I'm slow. And it's just something that, to remind me all the progress I've made on this channel, and I need to be more proactive on filling this darn thing up. So I'm hoping that you guys will do your part. I think I've bumped it up from 3 to 5 subscribers is the goal for the day. So, but I'm still keeping it at a minimum of 3. Not to overwhelm you guys. And then so I'm hoping by the first of the year we get a little bit more progression with that. So that is your goal for me, from me, or whatever I'm saying. I'm still not awake yet. Is 3 up to 5 subscribers. So go and share this, chat away in the chat, comment down below if you see somebody that needs some positivity, support to move forward. Please give that. Try not to be negative Nancy's and bombs on here as well. We want to help people with, FND or any disability. So we have enough struggles in the 3D world. pain, our symptoms. So we don't really need any more the negativity, because that just, doesn't help anybody in general. So good morning, and it is Flash Fan. Welcome. Good morning, bud. How are you? Hope you had a good breakfast, are caffeinated. Good morning, everyone. We're rocking this morning. I got 3 people on here. So, and just in case you missed it, I got my Clara Woods mug. See, the resilience mug. Go get yourself one. Get caffeinated. She's a sweetie, and she could use all the support. So I'm excited about it. I'm ridiculous, I know. I love my coffee. I love my new mug. Needed to switch it up around here. Anywho, well, all right. So let's get a rock and rollin'. Give it a couple more minutes. Sorry. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock your world on all the Flash Fan. Are you sicky too? Or just not, very awake and motivated yet? I hope you feel better if you are sicky, and I hope today gets, more motivation for you. And so, and if you're just struggling in general, countdown, do the NASA countdown from 5, and that will actually trick your brain to get more motivation. Oh, I hope they get through whatever. They've got a good friend. Don't put yourself down, because they need you. They need your positivity, and I don't think you're putting anybody down. So keep doing what you can and move forward. So it's a tango in this crazy world. So go tango with them. Alrighty. Were you born with I think I am a hypersensitive person, an HSP. What is a hypersensitive person? I think it's more a trait, and it's not a psychological problem. I don't even think it's anxiety. Yeah, you can create anxiety because of society's stigmas and burnout and, society's expectations. I think it's more of a gut thing, like an intuition gut thing. I don't even think it's ADHD. I don't think it's autism. So I'm just at that realization. I'm just a hypersensitive person, and there was nothing wrong with me from the beginning. And I'm slowly learning that I just need to let people to butt out of my brain. And stop pleasing everybody, and just I'm a people person, so as you can see. So, and I'm learning now to just focus on myself. And I think it's more the healing process, and it's not me being selfish. It's not me, being rude or anything. It's just I've spent, many, 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 many moons pleasing people, and, and I need to stop, and I'm also like realizing I need to stop seeing and telling providers about my, life history and all that struggles. And it's okay to, be down. It's okay to be anxious, and it's life struggles in life. It ain't math and going to a provider and taking a medication and seeing them, whether it's 7.5 minutes, or if you're seeing them weekly or monthly, that adds to a 90-minute, because you typically see providers, 7.5 minutes. If you, look at the clock and time them. Now, 20 minutes, 22.5 minutes is the maximum per unit. So it just doesn't match, and just doesn't, the math ain't mathin', and I'm tired of trying to invest in that spectrum. It's kind of been kind of nice not scheduling appointments and getting transportation, and if you don't have transportation, the backup of, okay, how far do I have to walk, and then how many buses do I have to take, and do I have enough Uber, Lyft money, as a backup? Having a disability in general is just exhausting, mentally and physically. So I'm looking at, and I don't feel like we should be seen especially for, rare disorders or, like FND, we should be seeing somebody virtually, especially, like I said in my petition, that initial visit or that reevaluation. Our healthcare system sucks anyways, and I just feel like I'm on this rat reel, or cat reel, treadmill, where it's just a never-ending thing, and I'm tired of it. So I'm just trying to reclaim my life, and the past couple days, I'm like, yeah, I'm sleeping a little funky, but my pain has decreased. I think I'll always have issues, with sleep and, my energy. I don't think I'll ever get sleep is overrated, as I always say. So it's a hard thing. So anyways, let's see here. Where was I? On my little tangent. I'm gonna show you. No, I'm gonna show you. There are. I want to get out of there. There we go. And where did I go? There we go. Share screen. And I'm going to show you. There are literally, I think I calculated 101 different psychiatric medications listed on Wikipedia. So let's see here. We're going to talk about how I felt many, many moons ago on, where did it go? Paxil. Paxil is an antidepressant and SSRI. You'll go in there. There are 5 different types of SSRIs. Am I sharing this? I don't want to share this. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, I'm not sharing that. Okay. I should put this in a different doodad. Move it or lose it. Here we go. There we go. There. That works for me, I think. I hope. Maybe. Move. No, I don't want to move that. This is like a juggling. I have to juggle. And obviously I can't juggle. Anyways, there are SSRIs, which are selective serotonin inhibitors, reuptake inhibitors. Hopefully I'm saying reputate inhibitors. And what people don't realize is, and I didn't realize this until the other day, thanks to AI, there are 6 other additional categories in psychiatric drugs. I should put my disclaimer. Hang on. Just remember that I'm not a mental health therapist. I'm not an attorney. I'm not all these things. This is my personal opinion, my own history of, taking them, and I'm trying to just kind of educate you. I'm not your professional or whatever. So I'm not responsible for you. I'm just here to give my own little feedback. Let's put you guys over here. So then there are, the next step is like, they'll typically put you on an SNRI, which are serotonin, norepinephrine inhibitors, and then atypical antidepressants, tricyclic. They're usually called TCAs, and then monoamine oxidase. As you can see, I'm not, in mental health therapy, so can't really say these words. MAOIs. And then there's other categories which I don't know if they're common to use. I don't see them on the list of the typical 65 medications that this genetic test you on. So anywho, I have apparently no interactions with at least 18 of 61. But here's the thing, of those 18, I have been on at least 4 or 5 of them. I don't recall Zoloft or Prestige side effects, because I've taken these in the past 25 years. I've been polydrugged and have simply lost my respect and trust for mental health professionals. I'll do talk therapy if it's, if I feel like it's necessary. But I've put Zoloft, which is a typical SSRI, and Prestige, which is a SNRI. Zoloft is a common trendy type antidepressant. So, and I've, some family members have, taken this drug before, blood relatives. If that's even a factor in thing, I even have, I don't even know anymore, because it used to be, oh, my, blood relative X, Y, and Z has taken this, and so, professionals and I would assume, that it's safe for me as well to take it, but whatever. But now I'm not even sure on this anymore because I've been genetically tested to be sensitive to medications all along. I would reconsider it before Prestige, which had an adverse reaction similar to Effexor, I think. It was a long time ago, so, and like I said, most of the time these practitioners have, polydrugged and then not even titrate you completely off before. So you titrate on one and you add another, and I forget what that even means. There's so many things in mental health. So I only basically have an SNRI left over. I'm not gonna give the names of these. And then I have an atypical drug, and then an MAOI drug that I can take. However, the SNRI has an increased blood pressure risk, but there is no glucose risk. So I'm looking at seizures, blood pressure increase, and then glucose. When I look back into these, if I ever feel like I need to take something for depression medication. The atypical has a risk of hypoglycemia if I am pre-diabetic dependent or insulin dependent. For some reason, why isn't this? Okay, making sure. I typed this all out for you guys. So, and if this is boring, listen in, go back to sleep or whatever. I might be a little boring about this, explaining this. So, and then I thought I put the seizure, something about seizures, in here. I think I am looking at the right one, the right document. Anyways, now an MAOI, it's typically used as like a patch for this one. There are dietary restrictions with tyramine, if I'm saying that wrong, forgive me, to prevent blood pressure issues. So basically, is it worth taking? Nope. I would probably say give me Zoloft. Because these other three I have never heard of them. And I have to be really, really, really severely bad with depression. Let's do coping skills. Bring those all out. If you have not looked at Wim Hof, I would do Wim Hof, cold therapy, to shock my brain. I would do cryotherapy, ice baths, anything to just like counting down from 5, and other things before I would even attempt this ever again. Anyways, do I want to talk about those today? Yeah, why not? Hypnotic drugs. There are 2 groups called benzos. You guys all heard about benzos. Or sleep or Z drugs. Benzos, let's see here. I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are the benzos. I can take those. Have I heard of any of them? I've probably heard about 2 of them, probably because only ads will pop up now that I've, researched these through AI, and just because, I've looked into them and all that. And then again, I looked at, seizures can happen mostly from the withdrawal, not from taking the medication, especially with benzos. For sleep medications, there was 1, 2, 3 of them. And again, I've heard maybe, I will say Lunesta is one of them. And again, I've researched them, now they're clearly in my head of what I can take. So seizure risks are rare, but for me, being hypersensitive to medication it puts me at greater risk. Now, like benzo hypnotics are when they're used long term can cause the hypostatic hypotension, especially if you use them for longer than 3 months, and can put you at higher risk of prediabetes, which explains a lot. Now, let's see here. Antipsychotics, all 3 of these medications treat bipolar and the schizo family, which I don't need to worry about that part of it, but it's always good to know, for you guys out there, if you deal with schizophrenia. And I am currently on Latuda. However, I've never heard of the other 2 on this list. Maybe one of them, like I said, it's in my brain now. But before all this research, I would have never known about these medications, would never feel safe to take them if recommended. The Latuda has a risk of seizures because it lowers the threshold. According to FDA data, small increases in early trials mean blood glucose rose modestly. Relatively low weight gain risk. Here's the thing. It was either Cymbalta or Latuda that this psychiatrist, who thought it was a good idea to put me on a anti-seizure, and I probably have this all written down to talk about later, to suppress my appetite, which made me kind of ding, 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 like, what is this doctor on, as far as, because that is something that I've never heard of. I started questioning him because he was just, I don't know, flinging these medications on me, starting to polydrug, not tapering me off of stuff, and I'm like, you have a record in my health history that I am hypersensitive to medication. You're in an acute hospital. You're treating me via telehealth, and it just was adding all up and, losing my trust and faith. Now, the other psychotic has a high risk of seizures. The drug label is safely some really noted change in blood sugar. Rare and less common for weight gain risk can occur. Now the other one has lower seizure risk, but some antipsychotics, it is not well documented. There are some risk of metabolic syndrome, ding, 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 quote unquote, metabolic syndrome. Remember that word, write it down somewhere. A lot of the psychiatric stuff that I've learned comes from metabolic. Hence why I did the genetic testing. Genetic testing has indicated that I carry a metabolic gene that does not work well with these drugs. Just saying. There's the proof. Glucose and cholesterol, which is like, you look at these and you're like, good morning, Yvonne. Are you asleep? I'm talking about all this complicated stuff at 9 a.m. Go back to bed. You can always watch the relay. No worries. Go back to sleep. You can always have your coffee later. No worries. Anyways, then, oh wait, I thought I had, okay. Now the other two medication antipsychotics are in the family. One of them treats bipolar and the schizo family. I've never heard of it. I would have been like, no, it's supposed to treat mostly the schizo family. As many psychotic, the seizure threshold may be lowered and increase the glucose. Metabolic, here we go again. Metabolic changes are noted. Ding, ding, ding. It's not a chemical imbalance. Okay, it comes from your gut. And I had this conversation with somebody yesterday that I feel like I had this aha moment months ago where I'm like, a lot of addiction issues, they're deficient in metabolic vitamins. You take, street drugs. I have never taken, but being around people that have been on street drugs and now being in a psychiatric hospital and being put in the unit for a little bit until, they opened up a bed in the mental health, unit. Opened my perspective quite a bit, and watching people. I'm a people watcher. I watch a lot of body mechanics, analyze people. It comes with being a medical massage therapist, seeing people going through pain and suffering and stuff, and all that science. I think you're just damn hungry. You need to eat. You're hangry. Let's eat food, healthy food, versus, so same thing in mental health. I think we are creating an issue with mental health and creating, this vicious cycle of addiction problems, using our, and we're not testing long term, and I can go on and on. The more research that I do on this, the more angry I get, the more I see people going through abuse and neglect and all that with FND is making me batshit crazy, especially after listening to a TikToker. I think she's a healthcare professional, don't get me wrong, but there was a warrior in the FND community, and I would love for them to come on and shoot shit with me. But they went to the hospital, and the doctor let this person go through seizures for 6.5 hours. I know. So if you see that TikToker, I think she is a healthcare professional, and her name is Roxy. Go give her some love. Please share that with anybody. We've got to get this shit stopped. We deserve the dignity and the respect, and we need to change. Non-epileptic seizures, I think we need to call them functional seizure attacks, or, removing the pseudo part of it, or psycho part of, we just need to remove that P word. PP. It's a PP. Okay? We need to remove those, words off of that. It's just non-epileptic seizures, or I think functional seizures is probably the best. It's an F word. Functional neurological disorder, functional seizures. We just need, anyways, I digress. Mood stabilizers. Now, I've been on trilopitol, or oxycarbazepine. This drives me crazy. Why do we have to have, like, 2 different names for drugs? Like, nobody in healthcare, they use the generic Cost less money. Literally nobody can really afford name brand stuff anyways. Why can't we just call it the name brand? Because we know it goes by name brand shit and leave it at that, and I don't know. Anyways, so there's only two mood stabilizers. Now I've been on trilopitol or oxycarbazepine since it came on the market here in the US, like in 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. I do not think name brand or generic trilopitol, whatever you want to call it, does anything for my mood. Nada. Could it be because there's fillers and different coloring and yada yada yada? Maybe. I definitely feel a difference when I take the name brand and the generic. I was not aware that it was used it's a seizure medication. That it was used for, mood stabilizers and psychiatry until my first visit in 2018 when I was like, oh, I want to do psychology to help, me as, I age. I'm not going to be able to do the physical work, so I see a lot of people deal with, pain and the psychiatric, struggles with, their pain and disability or whatever. So, big, huge can of worms that I don't want to really go down anymore, because physical therapy, do I want to go down that road? Not really now, after, my own personal, journey with this for the past 2 years and the lack of, still have a subluxation in my shoulder, still having gait problems. Yeah. Anyways, and then everybody's heard of lamotrigine. If at worst case scenario, if I want to change or go off of it, and need to go back on something, I might try maybe a microdose of Lamictal, which is going to be hilarious. And at this point, I'm fine as I am. I need to get people out of my brain, healthcare out of my brain, and all that jazz. So, yeah, I do take trilopitol when there is high stress in my life, like, maybe a death in the family, or, I will go, back on it maybe, because I don't want to have seizures. I don't want this FND stuff to, I don't know. It's my trust in healthcare sucks now. So, Lamictal and only off-label trilopitol called oxycarbazepine is approved for by the FDA, apparently, for the bipolar. And if I do have, highs and lows, I might go back, on a specific dose. But I don't know. It's just according to this test, none is listed safe for me to take for stimulants. And that's a big downer because I have no energy after all these 2 years and different drugs that didn't work very well for me. Now there is only one non-stimulant, and it's rare to have adverse reactions like convulsive seizures, but have been reported. So I got to take that in consideration. Dose-dependent drops in blood pressure, hypotension, and orthostatic syncope. So I gotta keep that in count because I've had syncope, and then hypertension rebound is also a factor. Withdrawal, you can induce. I added that for some reason. I repeated myself. Withdrawal induce BP and seizures. There are some risk of weight gain if taken more than 12 months. So, Cymbalta, let's see here. Do I want to talk about that? I think I'm done on that. I think I'm done on talking about, the stuff that I can take. We'll kind of dive into some of the allergy medications, which are, I just combine them moderate to severe reactions. Many of these drugs made me flat, blunt, excessive crying, which is really, really annoying. Depression, anxiety. You would never think, taking a, depression medication would cause, you would think you would be uplifted, but anxiety, PTSD, dizziness, ringing in the ears, floaters, I didn't add that on there, anger, rage, dissociation. I'm still dealing with the dissociation, although the other night I found this, not TikTok, but a short, and it said that this could reset your brain. And I listened to that and I felt like, and I'm gonna be trying this, on a regular basis, but I felt so much better. For I think it lasted me for like 15 minutes where I was like, oh, I don't have dissociation. Anyways, um, and then seizures, chemically induced bipolar mania, which is also annoying. Sleepwalking. I've had mania and sleepwalking at the same time on one medication, hypnotic. Um, that was fun. I literally cleaned the whole refrigerator and not realize it. Looked in the trash. Yeah, that was, yeah. Um, cleaned the kitchen. I was going to town. Psychosis, which is very, very scary. And then after psychosis, you can have, the ideation, which is very scary. Um, so another thing that I've noticed since I've taken one of these meds is kind of this mast cell, and I know I've demonstrated not very well, and it could have been the Cymbalta, continuing Cymbalta. I had the adverse reaction, you know, um, uh, so it could have been taking that, but I feel like it's kind of died down a little bit, but it's called mast cell activation syndrome. And that started after taking another drug that I'm allergic to, and I think I'm highly severely allergic to that one. But it also started after COVID, so I don't know if it's a COVID or a combination of the two, or these medications that I'm sensitive to. So, anyways, I have tried antidepressant medications. I've tried about 12 of them. Let's see here. There's 3 that I'm highly allergic, and I've tried. So those are SSRIs. Paxil was one of them. Prozac is like the worst medication in the psychiatric world. Has a lot of side effects. So yeah. Now Cymbalta is a SNRI. I've tried two drugs. For atypical antidepressants. They were polydrugged and back in the day. And the funny thing is, most of these drugs that I'm allergic to are the common ones that are offered too. So how interesting is that? Let's see here, only 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 drugs that, on the list of I'm not allergic to, and then most of these. So let's see, I've tried 12 out of the 19 that I'm for antidepressants. I've tried all 8 these hypnotics or sleep aids. And highly, oh, I thought propranolol was something else. I thought it was, I don't know. Anyways, it is a hypnotic. Then so let's see here. I've tried 8 out of 17 antipsychotics. One of them still to this day, I have like these little spasms in my kidney. And ever since I went to, had my first, experience in the psychiatric hospital world, urinary retention and kidney stones, which is always fun, but it still spasms, especially if I drink sugary drinks, like, sugar drinks, not zeros, over time. There was another one that anytime I would lay down, I could feel my blood pressure drop, and I had to sleep in the psychiatric hospital chairs out in the, I want to say foyer area. I don't know what the patient area. I don't know what it's called, but I was kind of scared to lay down and not really wake up. So that was a scary first time experience. Anyways, let's see here. What else can I talk about? Yeah, these drugs are not good. Now I'm gonna say that if you need them, if you're facing what am I saying? Psychosis, you haven't slept for, I've seen the effects of not sleeping for many, many moons. Your brain can go into psychosis after being deprived, and that can be very scary. That could be a sign the person is needing professional help, and can end up in SI and, and going that route. You are not alone in, your mental health. Talk to a friend, get help, talk over the phone. Most of the time, you just need that human interaction and to help you chill out. You just need that human coping skill, that friend to just chill out, go take a ride, go scream in the car, with a friend, obviously. Call the number for the crisis, depending on where you are. It's 988-998, something like that. Call that. They're there to just chill you out. I would rather a friend come and bring me a coffee ASAP, and then be able to follow through with, just that big bear hug that we all crave. Most of the, mental health is, you need that person there and you need that human touch. Sometimes we get so isolated in our own thoughts, going downhill, and that's all that I crave for, is just that big old bear hug to just release all those chemicals, So, and I think I crave it more so, especially if I haven't done massage in a long, long time. And, so, I need to get back into massage therapy. I need to help people, but it'll come in time. Right now, I think I'm at my next step where, I don't care what you think and get out of my brain. That's the nice thing about YouTube. The psychology of YouTube is, once I shut the computer off, this program off, I can relearn how to, focus on me. So anywho, then I really don't understand why it is called mood stabilizers and they use stupid anti-seizure medications for these. And we all know that, like, Tegretol and Depakote, their primary issues are like I think Keppra is also, classified in psychiatric for whatever reason, but I know there's like a certain dosage where it's supposedly, therapeutic at some point for psychiatric. But we all know Keppra range is a real thing in, you know, in the world of neurology. Anyways, so I have not tried these two. I was, like I said, unaware. These are primarily used for anti-seizure medications. I am not good with two stimulants. And then I'm not good with two non-stimulants. And have I heard of these? Yeah, the stimulants I know about. But as of 1999, when I was misdiagnosed with ADHD, actually it was 1995, when I started Adderall. I've become and always will be very hesitant. I'm very hesitant when I hear a child is taking, you know, these any psychiatric or stimulants to focus better. First of all, you're stunting your child's growth. Yeah, they might be driving you crazy. Yeah, there's some kids that they might need that extra concentration. But yeah, you try putting 25 children in a classroom, and some of these kids, you know, have disabilities, and yeah, which, yeah, poor teachers. I think classrooms should be, you know, half of that. I think I did a lot better when I was in a classroom of like 12 students, me and other classmates. So, I think we just better focus. There's less stimuli. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit more flexible, you know, with the teacher's attention span. So that's my take on that. And I've been in public, private, Catholic. I don't know how many times and I never grew up, you know, Catholic. I grew up, you know, Lutheran and Methodist and whatever other church we go to. And drove them all crazy in the Catholic high school. Yeah. Almost did not graduate because we didn't do the midterm or the, you know, final term paper correctly. I was so done with high school. I was so done with it. Y'all drove me crazy. I was so done. Yes, hit that like button. Anyways, And then the other two non-stimulants, never heard of them. Don't care to take them. So let me kind of digress. I've been kind of liking that word. I think I heard it from another YouTuber. That's a sign that I watch too much YouTube. We need to get me back to work. We need to get me back to massage therapy, helping people with, pain, because y'all are a pain in the butt. And I know that you guys are really missing me out there if you are a previous patient of mine. Because, it's just like having a kid or a grandkid, niece or nephew, where I can just send you back home to your family. I don't have to deal with you, and hey heroes, I'm gonna chill out here for a minute, chat with you. For my pain and nerf, we need to do a nerf war. Nerve damage. I know that you meant nerve. That would be fun. I wish I had a little Nerf gun. I would, have fun with that. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. All is good. You got to remember, I come from a mother who was an English major, and yeah, we butted heads a lot, but read a lot of papers. Yeah. Mostly my papers because homeschool. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. That's quite a bit. Trazodone is on my list of allergies. It knocks me out and makes me hallucinate. Duloxetine is the same as Cymbalta, and I know a lot about Cymbalta, and I am highly allergic to it. So, it is, Trazodone is, I can answer that. Let me see that. Trazodone, where are you? Trazodone is a hypnotic, I do believe. Somewhere. Where are you? Or wait, where is it? I have it somewhere. Trazodone. It is a serotonin antagonist, commonly used for sleep at lower doses. It is a rare but I haven't did it. I'm reading off of my doodad. Sorry. And then duloxetine, which is Cymbalta. Cymbalta is the name brand here in the US. I don't know. You probably go by, this and that. I think you guys usually typically call all medication tablets. So, so feel free to, I can't find, there we go. I found it. Duloxetine is a SNRI for antidepressants. So you're taking quite a bit. No wonder you might talk to your doctor, and you might be taking a little bit too much there, bud. So go talk to your doctor, maybe getting on a lower dose. Again, I'm not your doctor. I'm not responsible for you. So that is my little take on that. Hey, Timothy. So, gonna lurk. Alrighty. Welcome this morning. I hope you are having a fabulous morning. Listening to my depressing horror story about taking psychiatric medication, kind of boring around here. And don't you all wish you could put me on 2.0 speed? I am working on that though, trying to talk faster on this YouTuber thingy. So I'm gonna have to go get a Nerf gun and see if I can, Nerf gun you guys. Oh, I had to be funny somehow, some way. Turn that into some fun jokes. So, gotta have fun. Gotta make you smile. That's my whole ultimate goal, is just turn things into fun. Because if I'm not making you laugh at some point, I'm not doing my job. I'm not being a pain in the ass. I'm not doing my job. And that's what life is having fun. We're all little kids that, just in a growing up body. We need to just be our inner child and just, anyways, do I want to bore you guys some more and talk about the genetic part of it? Maybe we'll open that can of worms a little later. I'll show you some stuff. Let's see, I don't want to close that because I'm going to need to open it up and then I'm going to not be able to find it. Alrighty. Share we did talk about there are about 100 and some drugs. I will kind of dive into some of that again later, again or later, or whatever I'm talking about. And let's get out of there. Get out of that. Get out of there. See my pretty face. Yay. Do I want to show that? So back to what I was saying about why do we need to have two different names for two different drugs that don't even work? And I'm just going to show you this black box. No, that's not what I want to. Let's move you guys over here. There we go. Because screen. Let's show you. Like, come on. And even ads are scary. And I'm sure the ads someday are going to drive you crazy with all these psychiatric medications that we talk about when I get monetized. And if they are popping up, I am so sorry. I can't shut it off. Like, come on. This is like all the craziness that we have to deal with if you are seizure prone, serotonin syndrome. And I think I've dealt with that, in the past. I think with Cymbalta, like when I really started tapering off of Cymbalta, I think that was part of my problem with my eyes, getting dry and acting funky. And so I think that was, and I would like get really, really tired. And then my eyes would hurt. And I'm so glad that that stopped at some point. So this is like angle closure or glaucoma, and I feel bad for, people that deal with, the sexual dysfunction part of it, if that becomes a thing, pregnancy, this shouldn't be a thing. We need to look into, for me to go back to the same school that I went for medical massage and just get certified in, herbal, medicine. And I think that would be good for me to start learning all that. And I'll let you guys know how much that's going to cost. I think it's in the thousands because it's a certification. And I think that would be just a fabulous, thing, just in case I'm not able to physically do medical massage therapy for a while still. Or if I flare, I have something to back me up. I want to not be on government benefits. government benefits drives me crazy because I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. You know, I want to, you know, not be so dependent. I don't, it's just a long story on that. So, and if you follow me long enough, you understand it's just not meant for me. I want to be able to go somewhere and, yeah, have the bus as an option if, let's say, Uber or Lyft discontinues, you know, and I don't know, it's just, I want to remove myself from having to take public transportation. I physically cannot do that right now. It's better for me and safer to take Uber and Lyft, but the problem is I can't afford it. So we need to get the 500 subscribers and all the things. So because it might be a hot minute before I can, you know, build myself back up to do more than one massage a day. I've noticed, you know, opening a, you know, pop, you know, when 2 years ago when I got out of the hospital, saving a pop for 3 months because I was like, that was my goal to open that pop. I couldn't open it. And then it was flat. Anyways, and then the other frustration is I like my chips and salsa, and I can't even open that, you know. Yeah, I have small hands, but that used to be the thing. My mom or my dad, I can't open this jar. You're the massage therapist. Can you open this for me? You know, you're stronger than me, you know, and nope, not anymore. um, Whack it on the floor or just, you know, throw it in the trash, you know, because I can't obviously have a margarita either. So what's the point of eating chips and salsa and having a margarita? Anyways. Go back over here. Close that. Enough of that. Let's see. Share screen. This is not the genetic testing thing that I use. But this looks like if you feel like you need anxiety meds or depression medication and you're having adverse reactions, this look a little bit more like they did different stuff In addition to now I just now looking at all the report here, I think this is a little bit more informative, but mine was actually easier to read. So something to think about. And it's really easy to do. You swab your cheeks for like X amount of minutes, and then pop it in the. So it looks like they have two options here. So one of them covers like over 130 medications, depression, anxiety, bipolar, ADHD, OCD, which mine didn't cover that, PTSD, psychiatric disorders, schizophrenic, opioid withdrawal. I might actually have you guys help me earn some funds for this, because I am actually interested in doing another genetic test for more stuff. And where's the sample? I don't know what, I thought I had the pricing, but anyways, over 275 medications and this is diabetes, cardiovascular, that might be interesting. Diabetes, that's a plus. Gastrointestinal, that's a plus. Gynecology, rheumatoid, that might be good for me. Seizure disorders, antifungal. Let's go over here and see what else. Dementia. Obviously, we get 25% off plus unlock free shipping. Yay! That's always good. So there's quite a bit of vertigo, blood pressure, some of the, I just learned yesterday, or whenever that was, on the Gaslight Truth podcast. I highly suggest going over there to check out their, and they just got monetized, so go check them out. And give them some love and support. Let them know I sent you. And a guest speaker was having bladder problems because of the medication. So anyways, what else are we going to look at here? This is all the same. And obviously, here's the pricing for this. $375-ish with code 25. Anyways, go go check this out. Go try it. Go do it. A lot of these don't cover it they're not covered by insurance. But you can use your federal health savings or health savings account for these. Easy peasy. I want to go back. Learn more. This one, the other one was $299.25. I would do the other one. Anyways, if you look here, I have what it looks like is the mother effer variant. I have the mother effer variant. But I kind of want to do, yeah, I'll post it later and you'll probably laugh at me because you know me by now that I'll forget. I'm trying to be a little bit better. Streamlabs only limits you like a certain amount of, characters. I'm trying. I'm trying. Anywho. No, I don't want to close you guys down. Because you want to hear me. Did this stop? Are we still here? Because it says my live is only been on for 15 minutes. Am I still here? Boop, boop. Knock, knock. Don't tell me yeah, okay, I'm here. Okay. Anyways. It must have reset the timer. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. Let me go here. We'll talk about these. Deprivation tanks. My thoughts on them. I've done it. My question is, did this cause me to have more sensory issues? I was doing this as a coping, because I was having really bad time with my PTSD, and I thought it was a great idea to just go where it's quiet. And now I'm like questioning it as a whole. I don't know. It's it's a hard question. Now, would I continue doing it? Yeah. Because it's so relaxing. It's like a massage without a massage therapist. So quiet. And it has that effect on you where you wake up and you know it's all over, and you have to shower before and after to get all the salt off, and you're like, I don't want them massaged in, and I don't want the float tank to, be over. I could stay in there for all, forever. It's almost like a rebirth, in a funny way. So, but if it's gonna cause me more sensory issues, I don't know. It's a hard question to continue. Um, anyways, go explore that if you have one in your town. I mean, it's worth the experience. It's worth every penny of it. Unfortunately, the place that was near my dad, I would go there, visiting my dad. It went out of business, and me being an entrepreneur, they didn't really have many people coming in. It was in a location in a professional building, kind of wonky to get in there and figure out where they were located anyways. But it was like, I might, invest in this, and, if it helps people, if it helps me, I'm all for, investing in something like this. So, we have one, and after I explored the location at my dad's, we got one here in town, which is great. Unfortunately, it's owned by somebody else, and so then there would be a lot of competition. We do have a university in our town, and so I would literally put it closer to the university. So there would be a lot of competition, and unfortunately, this person was not like entrepreneur savvy, and I get it that this was, her baby, and, liability and all that. I understand that. But I really wanted to work with this person, this entrepreneur. And unfortunately, all my stuff with the FND kind of got in between. So if my family members are watching, this might be a possibility. We might venture into this. I don't know how much work it would be refilling these, and I would actually put them I would move south, to be honest. So some of these should be outdoorsy type feel, or, where you can open the doors to the outdoors or something, before you get in, because the salt and the humidity from the water, I know it can destroy everything in the room. So yeah. So there's a lot of factoring into all this. Anyways, so that might be some exploring to do, and so, and get back into massage, have one of these. I just need to subscribe, like, share, smash that share button, share it with a friend. Anyways, doop. Yeah. You don't really actually feel claustrophobic. There's plenty around. You can leave the lid open if you know, are. But once it like gets you in that state of relaxation, where you're just like you're asleep, your mind's just shut off, relaxed. Um, you don't care until it kind of bubbles, because it starts. Um, I think everything goes down the drain and kind of recirculates and drains out all the gunk. So, and there's plenty of room to float, and you can kind of feel, where you've drift off, and you can kind of recenter yourself. It's like being in a pool, little kiddie pool. And the water is just enough that you float. You don't feel like you're, sinking, because the salt kind of buoys you up. So it's very, very, very relaxing. And did it help my PTSD in that aspect, or my depression or anxiety or whatever? Yes, it did help in that aspect. Yes, it is just like the Dead Sea salt. And I did get to see this location near my dad's. They put a lot of salt. They had big, huge bags full of salt. And they would, I guess, dump it in or whatever. So, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. And then they would give the location near my dad's. They'd give you tea. And then I actually have a little sloth that you fill your little tea. And if you have not heard of Moxie tea, they've got this tea that's called Go Fucking Asleep. And then they have like names, Be a Badass. What are some? They had all fun names for, and Moxie tea. I think I'm saying it wrong. Modest teas. Sorry. Modest teas their sleep one put me to sleep. If you have not, if you are buying store-bought teas, there's nothing that compares to Modest Teas. Is it expensive? Yes, I can't afford it right now. I'm living on SNAP benefits. By the way, SNAP benefits, they reloaded. So we did get our full benefits for this month. I tell you, that was very stressful. Not knowing if you're going to get your funds. So thank you to those that helped sent food or, DoorDashed me or whatever. Gave me, enough to get me by and all that. So, anyways, yep. So, nope, you're fine, hero. No worries. No worries at all. Anyways, what else was I gonna tap? So on the second note, with flip tanking and deprivation, I do want to get not those ugly things. I want these dream. I think I want the dream loops. I don't know. There's too many options here. Let's just check out the dream loops. I'd probably, ew, no, those are ugly. Those are ugly. They're both ugly. But, let's go and try listening to them. So, headphones in, everybody. If you don't have them, no worries. And if you have a husband, that's what your husband's gonna feel. Hear a lot, whatever my brain's trying to say. Oh, he sounds pleasant now. Barely hear him. This is what your husband sounds like now. And your kid is nice and quiet. Anyways, I like those. So it's gonna, the ones that I did not show you don't have the inner part of them. So it's not gonna completely block the noise, but it's just gonna get all the interference so your mind can focus on me talking to you. So I think those will be good to get. So Santa Claus, if you're out there, please send me some loops. Adding those to my Christmas list. And no noise. That sounds... Now, see, my ear drum does not close on this, on my side, my affected side. So I like having noise to distract, like the air conditioning and whatever else, like the air vent. I have to have noise, background, YouTube, on autoplay, because then I get over-censored by the quiet noise. Like, even, everybody thinks I'm crazy, when I say the overhead lights, fluorescent lights, like, I can hear the interference with those. Is it a visual, sensory thing? Maybe, but I feel like I can hear it, and it just sensorizes me, if that's a word. Sensorize me? Okay. I'm making up my own words today. So, tell me I'm crazy, but that's okay. So, but then at the same time, if I'm focusing on somebody talking to me, I want to get rid of that, sensory overload too. So, and those are also probably great for ADHD, FND, PTSD, autism, or you just need sleep. Yeah, so, and it might be, a sensory thing, hearing the lights because of PTSD. I don't know, or an anxiety thing. I don't know. Whatever. So that we're almost done, I promise. And then, good Lord, I've been talking for 2 hours now. Thank you to the clock messing me up on my timing. I need to get a timer. It would help if I try to talk faster, but that just creates too much anxiety, OCD. So you get me how you get me, and you guys don't care. And like I said, if you are new here and you have hearing issues, auditory processing, you prefer, somebody that talks faster, watch the replay. Put me on 2.0. Good Lord, help us all if there was a 2.0 of me in this world. Because we know what one day my family needs to chat and tell everybody the truth of how big of a pain in the ass I am. Anyways, never mind. Don't do that. Because then everybody would be running. Anyways. Oh, sounds like you just need a massage. I forget how much it was to do the float tank. I think it was like $60. Yeah, I really, really, really could use a massage too. I was talking to some big gurus in massage industry, asking, do you know about functional neurological disorder, and this and that and the other. We need to start getting some education out there on this, because it's just going to be kind of like fibromyalgia. When fibromyalgia came out, probably about 20 years ago, and now fibromyalgia is commonly heard about in our industry, and so it's going to be kind of the same thing with, I think, functional neurological disorder. Yeah, it's been out there probably since 9/11, but a lot of these new trends take their time, and that's like my mission, is to get rid of the stigma and this, abuse crap. Yeah. Anyways, we're not going to get me on that tangent, because you know me. I get on those tangents. I do talk faster, I think, when I get on my tangents. So, that's awesome. We'll chit chat about medical massage therapy here in the US a little later. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more thing, or two more things. One thing is kind of fun, I think. Share. If you're having issues with stroke-like symptoms, rigid in your hand, I don't know why I needed to show you this, but getting a hand splint like this, because when I was in the hospital, I had to use the monkey. I got a stuffed monkey, a purple stuffed monkey, from my friend, who wasn't able to make it, but she sent, her buddy, who reminds me of a lot of Flash fan. I just have that vibe that, because her buddy was, in the ministry, and he was, and Flash fans in ministry. So, So anywho, so my hand was all contracted with the seizures and paralysis. So you need to get one of these. And then in the combination of TENS unit, which should be only used with a massage therapist, chiropractor, PT, OT, with the supervision. So they put the pads on to open your hand. So you do this, T-Rex motion, and that will open everything up. However, I've been crocheting lately, and that's probably why, ding, 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 why I wanted to show you this, because now I'm getting kind of the carpal tunnel. Oh my goodness, my hair. Carpal tunnel aches and pains in my hand because I'm crocheting, and I haven't crocheted in, I want to say, it's 30 years. Gosh, I'm old. Good God, I'm old. Anyways, so this crocheting thing might be short-lived, especially for bigger projects like, scarf making and blankets or baby blankets. I am probably gonna start making walker little cozies. I'm just gonna call them cozies for the handlebar grips. So if you are interested in those, they're gonna be easy for me to make, the easiest. And I'd probably just I know that you guys can't afford much being on disability benefits and all that, government. I'd just probably charge just a shipping fee. Maybe minimum wage for me is $7. I would probably charge about $8. $7.99, $7.95, somewhere around there. So if that is of interest, it's getting cold. I don't care to take gloves on and off. They get lost. So these are handmade, put on your little walkers, because the walker gets cold because it's metal, and easy for me to make. Put a little bit of Velcro on it and call it a day, and then you have a little piece of me to walk around with. And yeah. And if you're like me, you're going to have to walk in the snow, which I'm just dreading. I just want my license back. I want my car back. Maybe one day. But at the same time, I don't care for the car payment. I don't care for the insurance. I don't care for the maintenance. I don't care to get out and put gas in. Yeah. I actually enjoying other people driving me wherever I need to go. Because it is actually somewhat teaching me to chill out more. and not be in a rush. It's doing something good, but at the same time, it's doing something bad where it's annoying. Anyways, alrighty, one last thing. I can't believe it's already 11. And that whole conversation about, that took about 15 minutes. Okay. Anyways, doop. This is what we're dealing with. Let's see here. Cheetos and Doritos without their bright colors are set to hit the stores next month. So in December. Some Cheetos and Doritos will look a little different soon. Starting in December, stores will sell simply NKD versions of popular snacks that have no artificial flavors. Well, shit, if it has no artificial flavors or dyes, I understand the dyes, but you remove all the good flavors, meaning no bright orange color. PepsiCo announced Thursday. The move comes following a push by Health and Human Services Secretary Bob Kennedy Jr. I'm calling you Bob. I have too many Bobs, in my life. So we're just going to call you Bob instead of Robert. You're getting old enough. Being old curmudgeon, So we're going to call you Bob, okay? To get rid of synthetic food dyes in the nation's food supply. I love my Doritos. I like the orange taste, flavor, Okay. In April, but stopped short of banning them. Oh, God. For Cheetos and Doritos, I love my Cheetos. Like, come on. That's the thing, is to have orange little fingers, make a mess, There's not enough napkins or, Come on, Bob. We're just going to call you Bob for the rest of your life, So, yeah. And again, there's these loops. These are the ones that I want. The little pink ones. I like the pink ones. We are reinventing our iconic and almost our most famous brands to deliver options with the bold flavor fans know and love. Now reimagine. What is up with our bus system is reimagining for the 2030, and now kids are never going to know the nachos, the Doritos, and yeah. We once loved the Cheetos. Cool Ranch. going to be a shame. Cheetos Simply Puffs. Those are the, the big containers of Puffs. No. Might as well just discontinue them. Flaming Hot. They will be available in stores starting December 1st. Well, there goes our Christmas stocking stuffers. Oh, Scrooge. The original nacho cheese flavored Doritos contain artificial colors: yellow 6, yellow 5, big red 40. The Cool Ranch has blue, number 1, red, number 40, and yellow, number 5. These varieties contain artificial dyes, according to Doritos' website. Gives it the look. Original Cheetos and Puff contain yellow 6. Flaming Hot Cheetos also contain 6, 5, and big red 40. I'm not gonna, I guess we're almost over. Other companies, including Kraft Heinz, have pledged to remove artificial dyes from their U.S. products. And some states, as West Virginia, have banned them. So we're going to mess up there's going to be so many kids with, Asperger's, autism, that are just going to be unhappy kids. And, come on. Our parents are going to just have, this is a disaster. It keeps the kids happy, Yeah, they might. I honestly don't believe. I don't know. I don't know. You got kids that need ranch, and you got kids that just need their ketchup. Or just like me, I just need my Doritos, or a Diet Coke or a margarita. Don't mess with my margarita, and don't mess with my Diet Coke, and don't mess with my Cherry Coke Zeros and Mountain Dew, coffee. Yeah. Anyways, I can ramble on about that. The push to remove dyes stems from concerns inflate the consumption of unhealthy foods, raise the risk of possible behavioral changes in some children, such as hyperactivity, sleepiness, and ADHD. I will say, like with medications, I notice a difference. I do kind of somewhat agree with with me. I think I do have an allergy to red 40, but come on, that is in everything. So I would say reduce it, not like totally take it out, and changing your whole brand. You're basically changing your whole brand. Anyways, we'll see how that goes, marketing wise. In the next couple months, we'll kind of reevaluate how they're doing. I don't know what this guy is doing, but he just like squirrel. He's just like a squirrel in the corner of my eye. Anyways, and some doctors say food dyes are not the biggest threat to our health. Just tweak your food habits. The health risks really pale comparison with the health risk of the added salt, sugar is a big one, and fat in processed food. Celine, I thought they were going to say Dr. Celine Dion. A CBS News medical contributor and editor on the large side for public health at whatever health news said in July. Whew! I did it, Dad! Oh my goodness. So if you can leave me a huge big thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, how well this went. Was it fun? Could I do better? With positivity, of course. If there's like any negative stuff, I do better with you contacting me via email, Living Life with FND. There's living with no G. And you can give me active criticism there versus, but I'm trying to go do my own thing with, mental health and all the things that I did today. I need to work on my speed. I just hear my mom, English major in the back of my head, you need to stop saying and all those things. Yeah. And I try, but with FND, it's been just, who fucking cares anymore? Not bullshit. And then I just need to start doing more medical massage, FND hacks, and other stuff. I finally cleaned off. The problem is I set up my massage table. I was gonna kind of do this medical massage therapy hacks and, for everybody, but more so for chronic FND, PD, Parkinson's, MS, whatever. And things started accumulating on the massage table. So I got that cleaned off. I'm hoping to keep it clean, trying to be mindful. I'm gonna try to show some different things. I'm gonna have to get or make a kind of a dummy or get a skeleton or something. Anyways, that's the plan. I am gonna go enjoy my coffee with my new mug from Clara Woods. Go check her artwork out. Go give her some love. Go give her some love and kisses from me. I'm excited. I love that girl. She just makes things feel better about having a disability. Nothing bothers her, nothing, so anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Sorry I did not do any intermission breaks. So go clean out your ears, shake your head. You're done. You're done, Sarah. You're done. You did it. Thank you, heroes. Love from the US. And you have a great day. And Yvonne, you have a wonderful day as well. 2 cups of coffee. Glad that woke you up. I think this holds about a cup and a half. So I'm gonna go fill her up. Go maybe take a nap. I've got a meeting here in a couple hours. Take a 3-hour nap, somewhere around there. And Timothy, I hope you are having a nice drive. I love it. Yeah. Hope you're not working too hard. I know you work very, 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 very hard, and long hours and too many days. So hopefully you get a break here in next weekend coming up. And then, of course, I have to give my love to my buddy who's been here since the dawn of day. Flash fan, if you are listening or watch the replay, love you, kid. Yes, I did call you kid. I'm sure you're older than me. Who the fucking cares? I always do that. I don't care how old you are. I'll call you kid. I call my dad kid. So, oh well. See ya, Timothy. See ya, kid. See ya, Yvonne. You're such a sweetie. And heroes, you're a kid too. I need to go get a Nerf gun. We're gonna do that. Thank you for the ideas. On that note, you guys have a great day. This is the hard part, is saying goodbye. See you on the next one. And if you are struggling out there and watching the replay, life does get better. I promise. You will get through whatever bullshit. So keep moving forward. And I wouldn't give this advice if I didn't believe in you, you know? I did it. So can you. All right, guys. Bye. Bye, Claire Woods. I love you. I'm such a dork. I know.
Well, that's a wrap. The coffee's done, but our fight's just begun. We power strong like warriors do, living life with FND and you. Sip happens, but we'll survive. With serious chats, we'll always thrive. Stay fit, stay bold, keep pushing through. The next show's coming just for you. Remember, warriors, coffee fuels the soul, but your strength powers the fight.